you go. There you see, Dolan. This is the thing I've learned about Dolan, chat. Dolan is the one person in this chat who thinks he's so fucking smart about everything, and he thinks he's right about everything, and he's wrong about a lot of things. I'm shocked by that. I really am shocked by everyone being in love with this ban list. Everyone is just in love. Good lord, that number though. MBT's popping the fuck off. Does he condone white supremacy? We'll find out.
Hey everybody, Joseph Rothschild here, aka MBT, and we are live.
Damn it, Joseph, you couldn't even stop playing Master Duel?
Reacting to the new list, which Konami was nice enough to drop while I was grinding with Hero. And it's going well, surprisingly. This is no magic key, trust me. Now, the ban list has been dropped.
That happens. Yeah, honeymoon phase. Like, what's the point of the game when someone can beat you because their cards are just better? Like, if a newer player picks up Pranks or Eldritch and FTKs me, I'm not fine with that loss. But, like, I mean, you're acting like that's something that's mutually exclusive to prank kids, Jib. Then, I guess what, like, is your solution to just make every deck have, like, an insane high ceiling? You know what I mean? Like, are you basically saying that no deck in Yu-Gi-Oh! Should be, like, accessible for new players or should have low ceilings? Because, have you ever played, like, fighting games? You know how some characters are, like, easy to play, and then some characters are, like, complicated as hell to play? I feel like every competitive sport, every competitive, like, game has that, chat. You have some characters or some teams that are, like, unless it's, like, Madden, where I guess, like, you play a sports game, like, I guess everything is probably relative, like, you know, a good team is not going to be that much easier to play than, I guess, like, a bad team. Bowser versus Marth. I mean, it just sounds like Jib is saying, like, games or to be like fighting, they should just not have easy characters. Like, I don't get that logic. You know what I mean? And yeah, that's what BP is also saying. It's not, they didn't even try other ways of addressing the deck. They just murdered it. There's no difference, chat. There's literally no difference between Meow Mew at 0 and all the Prank Kid cards at 0, because it's the same result. You could just say every single Prank Kid card is at 0, because you're not gonna, like, from a competitive standpoint. I mean, you could probably whoop Little Jimmy at locals, but you're not gonna be topping the YCS. You know what I mean? And I don't buy into this argument that, like, simple decks shouldn't exist. Like, they should exist.
Apparently, unless chat.
I'm not even gonna go over, like, skill as a relative term or it's subjective or anything like that, chat. I feel like there should be certain decks that aren't super skill intensive, because you're going to, like, what are casuals supposed to play? Like, you want some decks for casual players. You want some that, like, not every deck's identity needs to be, like, 5-minute turn to think about my moves. Like, bro, I love Eldritch set 5. The only thing in Eldritch you have to think about is, like, remembering to activate the elixirs after the golden lands. If you can remember that, you can play Eldritch. Like, activate gold, activate conch, just don't change your cards fucking backwards, and you'll do fine with Eldritch. You know what I mean?
Absolutely schlong.
Jib's point is moot because power creep is literally just making new cards better than old. Well, no, that's not necessarily true, Dolan, because what Jib is basically saying is, like, you can have new archetypes come out and make the old ones worse, but by Jib's logic, every single new archetype that comes out needs to be super complicated and, like, maximize skill expression. That's what he's saying. He's saying no deck should be, like, easy. Or if you do make new easy deck, like, if you make a deck easy, then it needs to, like, by default be terrible. Because a player who plays easy deck doesn't deserve to beat a player who plays skillful deck. And I just don't agree with that.
Me. I have a couple of hopes for the ban list. I think that the ban list has an opportunity to be something really transformative. Yu-Gi-Oh's in a really great place right now, I believe, but there's a couple of cards that I think are...
What did he just say? What did he just say? This is so true. Yu-Gi-Oh! The TCG is in a great place. This is the whole thing about, like, we need a ban. Like, bro, no. The TCG is actually just in a great... It was in a great place. Thank you. Like someone else said it. Like the TCG was actually in a super healthy state, but apparently Prank Kids was the problem with the format. According to Konami, anyways. I don't know.
Hopes for the ban list. I think that the ban list has an opportunity to be something really transformative. Yu-Gi-Oh's in a really great place right now, I believe, but there's a couple of cards that I think are really frustrating. One thing that's a little upsetting about the timing of this ban list is that it's happening right before the Nationals season, which is about to start like this weekend, and also a YCS that's coming up in a week and a half. So while I would like to see hits to, I went over this on my channel, exactly Scythe and Verte Anaconda and Hauka Fibrax, I think doing so would be a little irresponsible because now like 2,000 duelists are going to be scrambling for cards in the next 8 days right after Difo released. So while I would like to see a lot of changes, I'll understand if there aren't. So with that, let's just get into it, I suppose. All right, so Forbidden and Limited list, May 17th, 2022. Now, this looks a little different than normal, so I might be getting baited. All right, so let's check it out. Nothing so far. Okay, no new monsters, and...
Yo, am I the only one that forgot that Eclipse Wyvern is banned? I actually just saw that on screen. I'm like, I totally forgot that like Eclipse Wyvern is banned. Like, damn.
Oh!
It's broken. I know, it's just like kind of forgot. I know it has something to do with Dark Matter Dragon, but like I just like low-key forgot that card's even banned. Anyways.
It's everything I could have ever hoped for. Mecha Phantom Beast Auroradon banned, Prank Kids Meow Meow Moo banned, Predaplant Verte Anaconda banned. In the arms of the angels.
A perfect example is Invoked. Invoked is a solid deck that's easy to pick up. Yep. Winda is their win condition. It can steal you games, but Pranks is just better than the other. Cool. So, like, what's the point? An easy deck could be good, but the best? Nah. Jim, this wasn't your point, though. Your argument was that if you lose to Invoked, then it's not a deserved loss, right? Your argument is like, if you lose to Invoke, then Invoke deserves to like not exist anymore. Or it's not a justified win, and the Invoke deck should get hit because it's not skillful. Like you're saying basically, if you play Sword Soul and you play against Invoked and they win to beat you, then like Invoke deserves to have Schism banned or whatever the fuck. While Sword Soul doesn't, because subjectively Sword Soul is more skillful, which is just horse shit. I mean, like the opinion of like Sword Soul being more skillful might be true, but the reasoning behind like how each deck gets hit is just stupid to me.
Go to hell. So Mecha Phantom Beast Auroradon is a card that I knew was busted on release and was very quickly integrated into extremely frustrating Hauka Fibrax lines that set up Avogadro's number of negates. Prank Kid's Meow Meow Moo is responsible pretty much single-handedly for Prank Kid being a force for the last 2 years, and Predaplant Verte Anaconda, in my opinion, is the most frustrating of all of these. Verte Anaconda exactly says you can trade with your combo opponent all day, but if they have any random material left on their field after you've expanded all your hand traps, well, you bet you're going to have to deal with DPE with the 2-card hand for the remainder of the game. So frustrating. Now, unfortunately, this kills many strategies dead, including what I was planning on bringing to the YCS. A necessary casualty, but still a little frustrating.
I don't know if I agree with that, by the way. I've heard a couple of tubers chat bring up the argument that like Verte being banned kills rogue strategies, and like I think we said this on stream. Tell me the deck that like only exists because of Verte. And like is that strategy decent? You know what I mean? B Troopers. if B Troopers only exist because DPE, like, then it probably just shouldn't exist. You know what I mean? Every big pimpin' deck. Like, just someone tell me like, you can still play Tri-Brigade. You just won't have, you know, the Mirror Jade stuff. Verte just made the best frets. That's better. Okay. I'm just I don't know. I'm really just prank kids. Not sorry. I said PK. I see PK. I see prank kids. I don't know what Phantom Knights will do, but I do know Phantom Knights. No. Phantom Knights can totally still exist because they can use those last two monsters to make IP Mask Arena. So Phantom Knights could still make hypothetically Appaloosa plus Rusty plus like IP. I mean, I guess you can't link with Rusty, so that kind of sucks, but that's something. Like Tri-Trooper, Drytron, PK. Nah, I don't agree with PK. I don't agree with Drytron. Drytron is, I swear to goodness, if PB doesn't stop, what's it called? He doesn't stop sending me messages on Discord while I'm streaming. First off, I don't think B Trooper is like actually a real deck, so I'm not even gonna respond to that one. I don't think that Tri Brigade is still like a deck. I don't think Drytron and PK only exist because of Verte Anaconda. I think they're like, it maximizes their potential, but I don't think that they only exist because what's it called? Like because
no new spells, no new Xyz, and no new traps. So it looks like that's the only banned cards. Scythe makes it out again, though I'll be honest, Artifact Scythe without DPE and Verte online all the time means it's going to be a lot less popular. And for what it's worth, Scythe wasn't in a perfect position right now anyway. There's a lot of cards that beat it. There's a lot of decks that don't care about it. Jet Synchron 1. Let's go! Synchron best deck. Kiera, where you at? I proved to the world that Jet Synchron is the most powerful card on the ban list. And for that reason, you should be suspect that it's coming off. But guess what?
How? What?
Baby. Synchron best deck. Literally buying it this weekend. That's just what I'll play. Monkey Board! Why would you unlimit Monkey Board? There's so many safer Pendulum cards you can take off, but for what it's worth, I don't think this card is going to break anything. You can pretty much take every single Pendulum hit off the list as long as you leave Electromite on.
Agree with that. I also agree that Monkey Board would not have been the card that I would have unbanned. I would have went Plush. Chad, is Plush Fire, is that it? No, I don't even consider Kieran a Pendulum card, to be honest. I guess I should. But are those the last two, chat? It's just Plush Fire and Kieran? Because, like, when you think about it, there's a lot of Pendulum cards that have, like, come back. I mean, God, Double Iris was banned, Joker, Astrograph. Like, Pendulums have actually been getting, low-key, a lot of cards back over the years. I mean, they've been getting their cards back fucking faster than True Draco. Does anyone else think that that's a little unfair, chat? Pendulums get a card back like every list. True Draco and Diagram still at 1. You get a Dynamite to 2. Like, come on. Like, it's kind of crazy that like True Draco can't sniff a masterpiece. You know what I mean? Exactly. Am I streaming Thursday and Saturdays as Anime Night? I was not planning Anime Night to stream any day this week. The ban list just kind of changed my plan, so I figured I'd just go stream on the fly. Hi, Power Cuties. How are you doing tonight? Masterpiece to... I would be fine with Masterpiece to 1. Pendulums can get 4 cards off the ban list, but True Draco can't get 1? I don't know, chat.
Red Rose Dragon to 1. This one's a little strange. I wasn't expecting this. I never thought it was the second or third Red Rose Dragon that got you, but at least this will mean that people have to think a little harder about their Hauka Fibrax line. That said, hitting a Rorodon is already a pretty good way of beating the Halcdon combo, where cards like Red Rose were absolutely bonkers. Whoa!
Oh,
I mean, not to get all Sam about it, but I literally told you. I literally told you that Yatagarasu could come off. No.
MBT, everyone, chat. Hasn't everyone been doing this now? I feel like this is kind of the new... I don't know exactly who spoke this into existence or who like started this idea. It probably was MBT, but I personally feel like for like the last 6 months or so, people have been saying this. So this isn't like a gotcha moment. Now, if you call it Change of Heart, then like I give you that one. But this Yada can come back thing it's not new. Like people have been saying Yada for kind of a while now. So I don't feel like any person can say I called this. The one that you can call is Change of Heart. If you predicted that, God bless you.
problem. The worst card on the ban list and the oldest card on the ban list. I can't believe it. Wow. I truly... Okay, so if you're afraid about Yatagarasu breaking anything, let me be clear. It is not going to. Yatagarasu is not good in this day and age. You want to use your normal something on a lot more impactful. In a world where a normal summon can be a full combo, preventing your opponent from drawing once isn't enough. And you need your battle phase to do it, so you can only do it from your turn 3 onward, or if you're going second, your turn 2. Now, you can search Yatagarasu with some cards, but the cards that search it are really bad. And finally, even if you connect with Yata, you don't win the game, right? Yu-Gi-Oh! Is a lot more about managing your hard once per turns than drawing a card off the top of your deck. Like, if you have a DPE and the adventure line in rotation, who cares if you don't draw? You're going to draw off Celestial anyway. You're going to plus off a Fateful Adventure anyway. So not surprising to see that this card is an acceptable power level, but surprising to see that they were willing to take it off.
That's the surprising part.
Hulk to 1. That's interesting. Wow. I like this. Having played it in Master Duel for a while, the inability to do the Hulk line twice actually matters frequently. If Hulk is part of your setup combo, then it's a huge choke point. If you remove it from your opponent's ability the first time, they aren't going to be able to threaten it on future turns.
But what deck is he describing, though? Like, my argument is he's describing a deck that, like, doesn't exist. Like, where is the evidence of this deck? We've never known Hulk of Firebrax without its partner in crime chat, Auroradon. Even in the OCG, like, they have one Hulk, but they also have Auroradon. So what is, other than shitty replay deck, like, what is this deck he's describing that is going to just go Hulk of Firebrax into, like, whatever tuner it summons into, like, Adamantipator? Is that it? Based. Yeah, but are you gonna? So you're what's the play line? Like, because usually Auroradon is the next step. The only deck that I can ever really remember, chat, that played Hulk but didn't play Auroradon was Adamantipator is the only one that I remember. Like, they would summon, I don't know, something, and they would just, like, not use Auroradon. It's like the second I sold. Turn 3 Hulk into Selene access code. I mean, I guess. Don't those decks only run one Hulk? Like, I don't know. I guess I'm thinking of, like, Eldritch and, like, Sky Striker. But okay, if we're saying that specific line has been removed, then to me that's just a golf clap. Because basically you're saying that the only thing that Hulk the One did was remove that. It removed that play, that specific play, I guess. That's a golf clap. I mean, I guess. Seems not really that great. Explain Shooting Riser to 1. No one can explain that, except maybe Jerome McHale. I really like this hit, and, you know, happy to see it. But Shooting Riser Dragon is now limited as well. This one I don't understand. Was anyone playing 2 Shooting Riser Dragon? Why is this limited? And the thing is
this just...
They can't do anything with that card. Because Shooting Riser is, like, not powerful enough to get banned. At least I don't think so. I mean, isn't it just Beatrice, but a Synchro Monster? It's like the same card, right? It's basically just Beatrice, I think. I don't know. I feel like that probably only sends monsters. I don't get it. Well, like, Konami's in a... they can't, like, justify a ban on the card. So... like, to me, just leave it alone. If you're not going to ban it, just, like, leave it at 3. You know what I mean? Beatrice is at 1. Okay, there you go. I was going to say, is it actually right next to Beatrice? That would be, like, the epitome of irony. Because Beatrice and Shooting Riser are basically the same card. It's restricted to level 6. Oh, then it's just worse Beatrice then. Okay, so it's basically baby Beatrice. It's mini Beatrice. Kind of. Flax had a good video about a Tellarknight combo. Let's see. You only saw that because the ultimate way to House was Auroradon. Auroradon banned. People will run more. All I'm asking is just show me evidence of like a needle fiber combo that is worth going for that doesn't include a Auroradon. Like this combo, I don't believe is like in the OCG. It might have existed, but it probably existed with like Summon Sorceress or crazy shit like that. And in TCG, it's never existed because Fiber and Aurodon came out in the same set, I think. So I don't know. Like this combo needs to show itself before we start saying that like how is a good hit.
Just Konami saying we know this card is good. I would have liked to have seen some of the cards that are making Shooting Riser Dragon such a problem banned. I think removing Fairy Tale Snow from the list was a huge mistake, and I would like to see her go back to hell where she belongs.
You're getting a little Cells of territory here. I mean, I don't know. Fairy Tale Snow is kind of nuts. Okay, so no, you're getting in a little like Cells of territory. You know, Fairy Tale Snow is nuts. But does it need to get banned? Like, leave Snow alone. Leave her fucking leave her alone. Oh, change of heart. Attack NBC never.
All right, this was a fun video, everyone. You could put this up on streamers getting trolled. All right, we're playing Master Duel. On the off chance that I'm not, this is an insane unhit. Truly bird-brained. Maybe the most frustrating card to play against ever. I mean, truly unbelievable. Minecon's at 1 for a reason. In a Link format, these cards are so absolutely bonkers. They're swingy as hell. You can use the monsters as Link material after you've used them. Many of these monsters have on field effects like Baron. Imagine expending the negate off the Baron, then coughing it and just popping an opponent's monster and getting to use it as Link material post-combat. Change of Heart doesn't have the stipulation that Mindcon does, and for that reason, you can still attack with it. Monsters these days have huge attack stats. It's just such a frustrating card to play with or against. People are going to compare it unfavorably to Triple Tactics Talents. I gotta tell you, that card is way worse than Change of Heart. Time Seal.
Oh!
I told you, Time Seal's the worst card on the list. Could come off tomorrow.
We're gonna skip this part so someone in the stream doesn't have to hear it.
Tomorrow, they seem to have moved it to 1, and I can't wait for people to break it. Okay, Semi being used as a quarantine zone once again. A little frustrated to see that some of these cards that were at Semi were not put back to 3. Fusion Destiny has no reason being on the list, like, at all if Verte Anaconda is banned.
Don't agree with that. Nah. No. Hard disagree. Hard disagree. If you have Fusion Destiny at 3, 100% people will play that. Like 100% people will play. Hell, if I was playing like Prank Kids and Meow Mew didn't get banned, I'd 100% be willing to play 3 Fusion Destiny with 2 bricks. Because DPE is still like insane. Still waiting for more. Hey, just watch the shitty replays. He hasn't seen the yeah. I'm not buying this argument of like DPE is unplayable without Verte. Like no, I'm not buying that. DP is still an insane card. It's crazy in Striker. It's crazy in like a lot of control decks. You know what I mean? Like if anyone's playing Invoked, I'd play 3 of it in that. You know what I mean? Because the power ceiling of your opening play chat just gets cranked up tremendously by a DPE. Like Macabre Pass is not that great. Macabre Pass plus DPE, man, if you don't kill that Invoke player chat, their follow-up is so freaking strong with DPE coming back, plus another fusion from Alistair the next turn, plus 2 draws from Celestial. Like, you're basically... Their turn 1 puts so much pressure on you. Like, you really need to just kill them immediately. Or floodgate them, you know what I mean? Otherwise, like, their counter punch is going to be harsh.
You do still play it in decks like Sky Striker, and I would like to see those decks still have a very powerful tool like that at 3, but sure. Nadir Servant, one of the most ridiculous semi-limits of all time. The card has done dick fuck anything for the last format, but, you know, whatever. So we are moving Dynamite Knight to 2, a little scary. This is probably the most powerful card in the arsenal of True Draco that is on the list, but probably not that big of a deal. Ben 10 to 2. Well, I don't like that. Why would they do that?
Thank you! Thank you! Dude, MBT might actually be the best Yugi tuber. Outside of me, of course. Thank you! Who wants this? Like, what? Dude, I swear to God, every Yugi tuber was just like, this is so great. So, like, who wanted this? All I need to do is just go back to, was it August 2021? When like, or no, it might have been June. When like Ben 10 got limited and everyone was like, I should have got banned. But now it's at 2 and like, we're happy about it? Drytron haven't been power crept at all as an archetype. Drytron's going to be like one of the hardest archetypes ever to power creep. Because they don't, I mean, they kind of need the ritual summon a little bit. Their toolbox is just too fucking, like, their toolbox is just too strong for them to get, like, power crept, at least anytime soon. It was March 2021. Anime Night watched it. MBT is so crass.
Tanky to 2? Pot of Desires to 2? What is going on?
That's what I said! That's what I said! Why are we moving these cards to 1 and then immediately moving them back the other way? Like, what are you doing, Konami? To quote Callie, oh no, what are you doing, baby? Like, I just don't get it. It would have, like, I don't know. Those were just the 3 cards on Semi that I was like, no, no, no. Leave them at 1. I don't, what's it called? He agrees with me, so he's the best. He's also handsome. Jerome wants Drytron to be relevant. I can. You know what's funny, chat? You guys know the Obama meme that I brought up before, where Obama is giving himself the gold medal. I think Jerome did that with this ban list, chat. Press 1 if Jerome does that every single ban list. He probably does. Every single ban list, like, he looks in the mirror and he's like, I'm the greatest. Like, he for real probably does that. Like, every single list, he's, like, so proud of it. Even the fucking list that banned Dryden for the 2nd time. Yeah. Anyways.
Well, I'm actually shocked. What is happening? What is going on? Ben 10 to 2, it was just put to 1.
Yes.
The left wants to unlimit Pot of Desires, but they put it to 1 in the first place. Do you understand? I don't. If I wasn't sure that I was getting trolled before, I am sure now. Pot of Desires back to 2. In a format where Sword Soul is really, really good and received no hits on the ban list seems super irresponsible. Tricks.
I don't know, man. I don't know. That's just kind of what I said. I was like, isn't Sword Soul a deck that can just kill you literally with 2 cards at will? Dude, we didn't hit the deck at all. Should we just make that deck better? Like, absolutely no hits. Let's just make it better for no reason. I mean, it's not like they can run 3 of every single card in the entire deck. Emergence, Moyi, Long Yun, Taya, Blackout. I mean, I probably wouldn't, but like Ecclesia, all the 10 Yi Spirits. Like, they could just run 3 of every single card. So their banishes don't matter. Ever.
Starlight Stage 2 should have happened in 2018, but happy to see that it's happening now. And
maybe that's it. Maybe they want them to be good and like they want to buff Sword Soul and the physical card game and also have people play them in Master Duel. I don't know. They had to suck in they had to suck in the Master Duel. Maybe that's it, chat. Maybe they want players to play Master Duel and like get hooked to Sword Soul and then also have those players be able to play Sword Soul like in the TCG. That's the only thing I can think of. Because if you're telling me Sword Soul is like not good enough to get hit on the FNL list, you're crazy. Sword Soul is totally good enough to get like a ban list hit, chat. Even if it's not like a ban, Ashina to like 1. Sword Soul is so fucking insane.
And Wall of Revealing Light moved to limit or to semi-limited as well. Completely fine. Card does absolutely nothing. Night Assailant, no longer on the list. This received an errata, not surprising. Trishula, no longer on the list. Oh, but my loops! You can banish 3 cards if you invest 14 material worth of monsters. Yeah, no duh.
Okay, I'm just gonna point this out, and you guys are all gonna say I'm dumb. You guys are all gonna say I'm dumb, right? Did anyone just hear what MBT said, chat? Cause did MBT just prove that Topologic Gumblar Dragon actually sucks? You can banish 2 cards from my hand if you invest like 14. Kind of sounds like a card called Topologic Gumblar Dragon. You have to invest like 4 materials to make it, and then another monster to trigger it, and then discard 2. It's like 7 cards to discard. Like, I don't know, man. Topologic Gumblar Dragon is like the worst card to ever be banned. That card is so fucking bad. And I don't know, I feel like he just described Topologic Gumblar Dragon. You spend like 18 cards and discard 2 from your opponent.
But happy to see that it's happening now. And Wall of Revealing Light moved to semi-limited as well. Completely fine. Card does absolutely nothing. Knight Assailant, no longer on the list. This received an errata, not surprising. Trishula, no longer on the list. Oh, but my loops! You can banish 3 cards if you invest 14 material worth of monsters. Yeah, no duh. Salamangreat Mirage Stalio, funnily enough, is not even very good in Salamangreat these days because it locks you out of DPE. A hero lives to 3. Let's go, baby. That's fine. Salamangreat Circle to 3, fine. And Scapegoat to 3. The thing about Scapegoat that kind of irks me is that it was really powerful when it was...
Yeah, I mean, I think I played against one guy who played DPE and Salamangreat. It was... I don't know. Like, if I have to be honest, as weird as it sounds, if I have to be honest, would I rather make DPE or Mirage Stallion? I think I'd actually rather make, like, DPE. Because the thing about it is, Mirage's main use chat, for the most part, is, like, getting you to Gazelle if you don't have it. The old combos where you'd summon like a 4 from your deck and go for a rank 4, like, they don't really beat anybody anymore. So I don't know. I mean, with Circle at 3, you should kind of always be able to get to the Gazelle, but now they don't have DPE potential. I mean, I guess unless you play the fusion spell. I mean, you could play Verte and like Salamangreat. I mean, the deck can definitely summon 2 monsters, but I don't know. Mirage Stalio is not worth playing multiples in Salamangreat.
Was put on the list, and it remains really powerful to this day.
Is Dweller good, though? So, like, Dweller is insane as a card, but, like... Nah, I guess it'd be... Actually, Dweller would be okay against, like, Sword Soul, I guess. It would stop Moyi, and I guess the Tenyis. But against, like, Despia, I feel like it wouldn't really do that much, right? Yeah, Despia, like, can banish their stuff and summon from... Like, against Despia, the only thing you'd stop is Tragedy that turn. Like, everything else, they would just push straight through it, so...
Like, the Scapegoats themselves can just be, Shureg.
Why can't you DPE under Mirage Stalio? Well, you wouldn't be able to Verte. So, you can only activate fire monsters, in a turn that... So, he's saying, like, if you went for the turn 1 Salamangreat play and you made, Mirage... And then you still had a bunch of... Like, you always have a bunch of monsters in Salamangreat. You wouldn't be able to make Verte and use the effect because it's not fire. But Verte is banned now, so it's all a moot point.
And that's really strong, for sure. There's just not very many decks that would actually want to make them. We went down the list of, like, potentially playable decks that could afford 4 monster spaces and not special summoning for a turn, and the only one we could think of was literally Guru. So, you know, maybe. Okay. You know, it's weird. It's not often that I continue to scroll down and get more and more upset with the list as I do so. Really happy to see Verte Anaconda die in hell. Really happy to see Mecha Phantom-Beast Auroradon no longer lurking over the format. Happy about Meowmoo. Happy about Hauka Fibrax, but absolutely puzzled at some of these unhits.
Thank you! Dude, MBT might have had he might have had one of the few good banlist reactions that I saw. And granted, he stayed very positive, but, like, that's the truth of this list. To me, anyways, as you kept going down, the list got, like, progressively worse. I don't know if people if people noticed that. Like, as you kept going down, like, as you got over the initial hype of whatever you thought about the 3 Link monsters and, like, Yatagarasu and stuff, like, especially when you got to, like, semi-limits, like, this is just weird and bad, and you get to shooting Riser Dragon and Hulk the 1, and it's like, what is this about? You know what I mean? You get Pot of Desires and Benten and Tenki cards that we just put the 1 going back to 2, which probably means they're going back to 3 soon. I don't get that. I feel like cards should probably stay at 1 longer than that, but whatever.
Change of heart, I think, is
keep that same energy. You guys will see in 2 weeks. Not as good as
going to be immensely unfun to play against. I can't imagine why we are semi-limiting a bunch of cards that we correctly determined were too good to have at 3.
There you go.
And I guess the most upsetting part is the best deck being branded and no real hit to the archetype. I guess they don't have Verte Anaconda anymore, but it's the deck that uniquely can use branded fusion without it. Expect to see a lot of branded, expect to see a lot of Sword Soul at the YCS, but
where's my
sheesh, I mean, outside of that, have a fun time at Nationals, everybody.
There you guys go, chat. I present to you the best, probably the best Banlist reaction that I saw today. Who recommended it? Was it you, Selza, that said watch MBT's reaction? That actually probably was the best one that I saw today. Because, yeah, like, not only did MBT point out how the ban list got progressively worse as you kept going, and again, something that really frustrated me was the semi-limits. Like, why did we immediately move these cards back to 2 when they were rightly put to 1? But then he also talks about, like, yeah, the 2 of the 3 best decks in the format just got they completely skated. So, like, if you're someone who was like, Despia is so good, I lose to it, like, cool. What do you think you're going to be playing against tomorrow? It's probably going to be Despia. You know, probably going to be Sword Soul.